Greetings from Tennessee. We made it. We just did our first trip bringing a van load with a trailer attached down full of stuff before we bring the big moving truck next week. And we had to do it all in one day just for timeline. So that was a we didn't get going from Michigan until it was almost 1 o'clock. We got down here a time zone earlier, and it was still after midnight by the time we pulled in. It was a long drive, but we did it. Went to open the trailer, the door was stuck, so I had to muscle it open. Everything fell out. I guess I didn't pack it that good, man. Fragile. This is where we keep our Italian stuff. So this is what we are affectionately referring to as the compound. Main road's up there. That's York Highway. We come down here, big old gate, and there's this fence that runs all the way around the property. After you walk in, there's a couple of, I don't know if those are compost piles or raised beds or something, but then there's this whole garden area that has screen around it to keep the critters out. And you can tell it hasn't been worked this year, but there's still some stuff growing in there from last year. There's some squash plants and things like that. So big old garden area. Garden area through this little pathway, and then we're going to go through this gate over here, and that leads to the back 40, which is really the back 9. And this is down beside the house. There's a little carport area, and then a little shooting range. So, and that's the back of the house. And there's the barn and the shed and the chicken coop. And this used to have goats in it. When we looked at the house, there was nothing growing here. This was just dirt field. So we need to get some goats back here to chew this stuff up. And here's our barn. There's a little chicken coop area right there. A little lean-to area right there. And then there's really only one stall. Well, I guess you could sort of call this area a stall, but not huge, but enough for what we want to do. And then you go through this gate, and there's more area back here where the goats could roam, or sheep, or something. And back behind the barn, behind the shed. And this is the end of the fenced-in area of the property, which takes up about an acre. And there's another 9 back here. So this is the first time we've ever been able to get back here. When we were looking at the house, we just didn't have time or the tools, because we needed some tools to get that board off. And yeah, this is the first time we've been back where we can wander our property and see what's back there. So once you get through the gate, there's all of this, and hasn't been managed very well. It looks like there might be some little trails and stuff here, but for the most part, it is it's just really wild and grown. And I don't know what that, it looks like a little pasture area up here. So somebody else, this must be the edge of our property. Oh, that's the cemetery. There's Pig Cemetery right up there. And our property goes downhill down there. Supposedly there's a spring down there. Let's go see if we can find it. So it's hard to tell, but I think our property, there's another house right up there, and there's a ravine down there, and I think our property kind of curls around in that ravine. So if you walk around, here's this is Pig Cemetery Road. And there's Pig Cemetery. There's someone named Pig that's buried in there. P-I-G-G. Which I'm guessing is why it's called Pig Cemetery Road. But our property, the cemetery ends here, and our property comes up here and then goes along the road. And you can see the back of the fence there, and there's the trailer and the house that right next door.
That's why they call it Pig Cemetery.
We were just looking at all the gravestones here. 1882. That was the first of the Pig family, as far as we can tell. It was buried here. There's a little baby buried in here.
That was a stillborn. That's sad.
So our property butts up against this road, and this is Pig Cemetery Road. And our property is long and skinny. Looks like a finger, kind of like that. With our house up by the nail and the base of the finger down this road. It curves around, and that's kind of where our property ends. But all of that in there is just ripe for lots of fun. So we found another neighbor. It's a big yard to mow. And then it's their yard. Au natural. We're coming up towards the end of our property, but man, look at that view over there. Staring off at the mountains. Gorgeous. Have to come out here and build a tree fort or something, just as my little getaway. Man cave's gonna be back here. So, yeah, it's somewhere back here. Our property cuts in. So Pig Cemetery Road keeps going up that way. And our property, I don't know where, but somewhere back here, cuts in before this house. And so we'd have to get someone back here to survey it and stuff to figure out exactly where, but somewhere around here, cuts in and goes that way before it starts that trek up. There's a valley down there, and goes all the way back up to the main road. So we were walking back. There's the main road. Pig Cemetery Road starts, but we ran into this. There's actually a collapsed barn back 50 yards back that way. But then there's just this old cabin. It's new enough that it had electricity at one point. You can see the box over there. But man, nature has just decided to reclaim it. But look at that tin roof. How cool that is. All that patina. Oh, cool stuff.